Hey, Metroid fans. Let's get ready to rando. It's Super Metroid Randomizer League, Season 4, Week 4. Got a really good one for you today. A-Team against Cuties Coaches, 4 veteran rando players going up against each other. I'm joined on comms by the one and only D-Web. D-Web, how are you?
I'm doing pretty well on this Friday evening. I hope everyone's had a good day so far. We should be in for an exciting match, as Salty mentioned. These two teams have both coming in here. The A team is undefeated so far. They're tied for the lead in their division, which is Norfair. Cuties coaches, I believe it might be 500. I'm trying to check, and then I pull up the wrong link, so give me a moment and I'll confirm that. But in either case, I know a lot of these runners are familiar with each other, and we should have an exciting race on our hands today.
Absolutely. Yeah, tomorrow's April Fool's. There'll be giant pranks tomorrow, so look out for those. But for today, Week 4, if you haven't seen a Week 4 race yet, this is probably the closest thing to vanilla that you could get. We're getting vanilla map, and we're going to get the full item shuffle, so majors and minors can be absolutely anywhere. And boss shuffle is in effect. So we're going to see some players probably taking some safety saves before they hop right into, Kraid's house or something and expect Kraid, and it's Ridley. But hey, we're starting up, and we're going to go get that morph ball.
Yeah, so my suspicions were correct. Cuties coach is currently sitting at 3-3. After the top two of Norfolk, it's a bit of a logjam, so definitely they want to do well in this series, fighting for playoff position, and as expected, versus an undefeated team. It's going to be some tough competition. These are two very experienced players. AceZer especially been around from the beginning of the rando scene. A couple tournament and league championships on his side, and yeah, Fritchel and John Linefist, no slouches themselves. Ace a bit newer, but very experienced in Zelda and the combo rando, and
Ace has
also
been playing great this year too.
yeah, he's been doing well, and he also did well in the summer tournament last year, making it to the playoffs before getting knocked out by Kip, who I think everyone else probably knows he's pretty good at this game too.
Yeah, and on the A team, we got BA Bar Aster and Ace the Face Zero. Hannibal Duck is sitting on the sidelines for this one. But Morph Ball at Pedestal, that happens a good 50% of the time. And now we're going to go see our Rio friend and grab our ceiling item.
Yeah, a few things quickly to notice on one runner side. I believe AceZer has a bit of a palette shuffle going on, and then on Linefist's side, you've got an outline Samus sprite that I also believe has a bit of a rainbow effect, if I've seen that correctly, in some other rooms. So a little bit of aesthetically pleasing choices for a few of our runners, and we're gonna see no alternate Samus sprites, so everyone wants to be comfortable with visual cues and whatnot. But so far, just morph ball and some missiles. We're not gonna get anything interesting except for this early Billy Mace play on Linefist's side.
And yeah, AceZer looks like he already has the gravity suit, but that's just his palette choice. So I wonder what the gravity suit actually looks like when he plays on this palette. Hopefully we'll find out soon for all those that bet gravity in the poll.
If it's the same as his last race, it was green for gravity.
Okay.
We see Energy Tank and E-Tank up in Billy Mays, so definitely early on the race you want to get after Morph Ball. You're looking for all three of your ammo types. We do not have supers yet, and with this retro PB check, we are still without supers. Co-op, so what that means for these settings, they are info share. More than likely, both of our teams, they're in a voice call with themselves. They're talking to each other, letting each other know, hey, this is here. Hey, you can go here. You cannot go here. So I'm interested to see if anyone takes a meme route, going left and Morph Ball into Green Brinstar early. Without supers, that is a bit risky. But because your partner will be able to cover you and check anything you don't, as you're gonna have to get supers, relatively quickly. So that's the thing I'm interested in. On the right side for Cuties coaches, it does not happen, and we'll see what Ace decides.
Yeah, I think it's also kind of nice getting power bombs early. In this setting, I believe there's only 8 power bomb packs in the game, and there's about 20-ish supers, if I'm remembering right. So getting power bombs out of the way, not going on a hunt for those, is really nice for these players.
Yeah, the way the minors work is once you have all of them and they're once they're being randomly placed, the chances are 3, 2, 1. Basically, what that means is so there's a 3 out of 6 chance for a missile at a given location that will be something, and then there's 2 out of 6 for supers and 1 out of 6 for power bombs. Obviously, with them being randomly placed, that ratio won't always come to true exactly like that, and we've seen very, very low power bomb seeds, and we've seen seeds with more supers than missiles, but it's not a set number in the various settings.
Okay.
But right
See,
now,
that's why it's good D-Web is here, because Salty by himself, he would just give you fictional facts, and we'll go with it. But D-Web's here to keep me honest.
yeah, and right now, Armani, this is a very interesting play. Fridge John just didn't go to Bomb Terizo because, well, it's co-op. They got the supers at 2:30, and he decided, I can let my partner check that. Maybe they're going to do some split-offs between maybe left and right. I don't know about Gauntlet, probably not happening, and immediate wreck ship is also very risky, but yeah. Already we got some early skips. Obviously, these runners, they know what they're up against on the right side. Q's coaches definitely want to have a good showing, and yeah, we'll just see if they're a Gauntlet.
We got the Spood Beaster up there, Gauntlet, or Speed Booster for everyone else who's not me. That's a great find, and I like the play by Q's coaches splitting up Bomb Terizo and Terminator. Sharing that info, saving some time. That's a good call here.
Oh wow! So yeah, I was talking about maybe going some right left split. It looks like both AceZer and AceZer returned to the ship for a power bomb refill, but AceZer is going right straight away. He's not doing a Gauntlet look. He's not going to Green Brindstar. He's gonna at least look at the mode, and you could get some very early wreck ship information here. He is going to have to nail a continuous wall jump here over the mode, and I don't believe this was the frame, so he's going to have to go back and set it up if he indeed wants to continue this way. But yeah, Ace is going to be the one headed over here into Green Brindstar where John is.
As we're lining up the CWJ, looks like just a frame early on that first one. That's a really tough jump.
Yeah, and here's our first other major that we can actually get so far. Spring Ball on French Lightning John's side. That is that's a good item. It helps with a little bit of momentum conservation on your movement, and depending on what the seed wants to give us, it can be required in a few places. But yeah, Lenofist in the same place as AceZer also doing this very early wreck ship play. Bit of trouble from both of them right now, falling into the water a bit, but you don't feel as bad about that potentially in co-op because your partner is, advancing things and doing things that are productive for the seed. So all you need to do is get this with relative quickness, and you'll be all right.
Leno had a first good jump there, just slightly off on the second. Looks like he prefers the out of the room setup, which I find slightly easier myself.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay attention. As you can see, AceZer doesn't use Moonwalk, so there's a pretty easy setup in here if you do use Moonwalk to get on that last pixel, so you can actually get the run speed required to get that jump. Lenofist does give up AceZer following suit relatively quickly right after. So no wreck ship information right now over here in Green Brindstar. We've seen that Spring Ball. We're down in Edicoons for John and nothing else so far. So we're gonna have to see if we can get either, an easier way across that mode, which Spring Ball does qualify if you're familiar with that strat. Otherwise, we're going to have some very early red tower and Norfair and potentially crate information here.
Yeah, we're not for sure going to run on the Phantoon at the wreck ship, and if we don't get him down, then all those items are still locked. So, not a bad thing that Leno and AceZer decided to go the other way, because we don't know where these bosses are yet.
That's right, and one thing you also want to look out for here early, given that it's full item randomizer, we don't even have a countdown, so we're pretty much going to be trying to check as many of these items as possible between the two runners on each team. Lots of supers early. That's definitely what you want to see if you don't have a quick charge beam, and also some better beams to make it more powerful. So we're looking good on that front. Still only 5 power bombs, which is more impactful and full, especially in Green Bryn, where John and Ace are, where you have to use a lot of power bombs. And of course, AceZer gets the power bomb in Red Brindstar.
And Wave Beam behind Alpha PBs. So we got our first beam item, and AceZer and Leno finding the second power bomb pack of the seed. Mission Impossible for French Lightning John. And we'll see where they decide to go next.
Yeah, here's something I'm very interested in. So we did also see this grapple beam here down in Edicoons. That grapple beam is much more impactful in a boss randomizer situation than it normally would because of the Dragon estate potential that it has, and also, you know, as we talked about with this the continuous wall jump that both runners were having some trouble with. I also was a little confused about this play from AceZer going back up, and then I remembered that speed boosters in the back of Gauntlet, and Ace told him that now he's got 10 power bombs.
Oh, very nice. So AceZer going to be picking up the best item in the game very shortly.
Yeah,
And we're going to get some great info.
Yeah, one of the earlier races I commentated this season had a speed booster at the back of Gauntlet, and you know, one runner decided to go back for it pretty quickly. Another one decided to wait a while on it. Speed booster definitely one of the more impactful items. Without barring the two suits, I'd say it probably is number one as far as the impact, especially in full when there's even more hard speed locked items. So having that early, and then I'm assuming AceZer probably will go down, get the things that Ace tells him he needs to get, as well as, you know, some more quick supers, and potentially get that waterway check out of the way pretty early.
And Leno's going to give us our Crate Warehouse check. Hopefully remembering the save before he just jumps right into the boss room, because that could be very bad.
Ooh. So this is our first peek at this Various suit down here in Big Pink, which there's John getting it as well, and another E-Tank at the front of Gauntlet. That Various suit definitely lessens your need for as many E-Tanks, but you know, early on you definitely want a few. You definitely want to be able to not be super scared. You know, use your health to deboost off of enemies and such. So yeah, Vari and several E-Tanks already. That's going to be pretty comfy for our runners. Interesting that John took the more traditional, just, you know, top-down Big Pink route, and Ace did a little bit different. I want to say there's probably some power bomb conservation in there, especially with, you can do the charge bomb block and the spore spawn bomb block at the same time with one power bomb. That's definitely tech Ace knows from SMZ3. But yeah, these runners, as you can see, John has no current power bombs. He's not going to be hurting because of the B-Tom next to X-Ray, as well as going into X-Ray with that grapple beam. But with only 5, you definitely have to be conscious of your power bomb usage. Did you happen to see that boss Leno Fist reset?
I actually didn't.
I'm sure Chad will inform us that it was probably it was Ridley, because Ridley likes to hang out at Crade's warehouse. It's a fun place. Lots of parties.
Oh yeah, Phantom even bought it out for a seed last week. That one we normally see a lot of changes on. But early on, with the A-Team's info, knowing where speed is and getting Varia and Pink Bryn, we're going to see a pretty comfy lower Norfair and Norfair for players of this skill level. We'll get to see some tech that's not always used, and yeah, it's going to be pretty neat. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was definitely, you know, we saw similar plays early with both teams sending one player towards the wreck ship and then neither of them actually getting there. AceZer elected to go back up for that speed booster while Lenofist rushed the crate information. So the teams, kind of everyone is in a different spot right now. The biggest advantage A-Team has is going to be this potential waterway check, as well as just, you know, being the first person to speed boost, you're going to be going faster than everyone until they get it. So that's very nice. And, you know, AceZer is going to clean up these checks that Ace is telling them where to go very quickly, while Lenofist is also coming back here, but without the speed. It's not going to be as quick. So that's something to look out for as far as what the time difference between these teams is going to look like.
Oh, and something I've been wondering all week, now that I have you here, D-Web, the X-ray check. When is that in logic in this setting?
So, given that obviously they've got power bombs and they've got a grapple beam, it's very easily in logic. The trick to X-ray, if you don't have either grapple or space jump, which are, make it easy, you've got to have an energy requirement that is either 6 total tanks or it's Varia plus 2 tanks. And then you got to have a movement item that will allow you to get through the final jump without, doing the deboost strat. So it's either bombs by itself, ice by itself, or high jump and speed, or high jump and spring ball.
Okay. Good to know, because I had a couple practice seeds where I'm like, I'm not sure if that's in logic yet. Obviously, I didn't have grapple beam or space jump or anything that would make it really easy, but I didn't know if the game wanted me to go there or not, but that is good to know. And now Ace going to get that wave beam that AceZer told him about, and Ocean Missiles is supers. And now AceZer's going to give us that waterway check. This would be huge for the A team if they get another major down here in waterway with the speed booster knowledge.
Yeah, so picking up for the other teammates slack over there on Cutie's coaches, John with the the easy grapple across the mode is getting this information that they wanted early. It looks like Ace is also doing the same. I'm interested to see, given what AceZer did, Ace could also just go left and get that speed booster first as well before checking this boss, especially in a situation where, if this is vanilla Fantoon, which I'm assuming is possible because, we saw a reset out of crate, and I don't think you'd reset Fantoon in that scenario. I would want that speed booster first, both for, the check it locks and the general speed of getting through there. And yeah, as expected, that's what Ace is gonna do. No speed booster on the right side so far. That's the biggest thing I'm noticing early on, other than, all of the divergence that we've seen thus far.
Yeah, and that's why I think this early juncture, it might be fair to say that the A team has the advantage or a slight lead here because of that. Although still plenty to do, long way to go. We're going to be getting Fantoon knowledge on Cutie's coach's side very shortly.
Yeah, and I want to say that neither John nor Ace nor Lenofist at this point have done X-ray. As we were talking about it, it's very easily in logic. AceZer, hearing me from through space and time, is going to give us that check. It is, in every other mode that we race, major, minor, and Chozo, you're guaranteed to get at worst a reserve tank, which is pretty bad. But it's a major item. Here it could be literally anything, and it's one of the longest solo checks in the game. 4-door transitions, this long room that you're grappling across. It's dangerous when you don't have Varia. So a lot of people do like to just kind of pretend this doesn't exist in full randomizer, but in co-op, I think I like knowing. In general, I like knowing everything anyway. So yeah, a missile is not what you wanted.
Yeah, a long check just for a missile. That's unfortunate. But we do get a vanilla Fantoon. So Cutie's coaches, knowing that this is a viable route to go to Wreck Ship and get the items up here after taking out Fanny, that's definitely helpful. We'll see what the team decides to do.
It looks like John's having a pretty good fight so far. It looks like it's going to be a comfy 3-round.
Nice stop.
Yeah, that early Wreck Ship play that they both tried to do and didn't do it's gonna be interesting to see how this weighs on my mind. Obviously, like I was talking about with this speed booster differential, if there's something in Wreck Ship Reserve, Ace can do it, John can't. He will just, he knows that the speed booster exists and where it is, and you could go back for it if you had to, but you don't necessarily want to do it. Very interesting. Wreck Ship is a pretty divisive, place amongst the top level runners. You can get a lot of varying opinions based on, what exactly the value is of these checks, how much of it you do or don't want to do, when you want to do it, what situations lean themselves more towards it. And with boss rando and co-op, there's a million factors. Who knows what anyone could decide to do, but feels like, especially in co-op, you're definitely going to do at least some of this. How much of it, I really don't know. And yeah, overall, I like getting speed early for A team versus what Cutie's coaches decided to do. But yeah, definitely no right answer so far.
How many checks you do in Wreck Ship is definitely a personal preference thing, it seems. Normally, left and right supers are always something you see runners do in these types of things, but Not always the energy tank or the reserve item or gravity. Sometimes just those just take too long to be worth it. But full item rando, they might.
Yeah, we've been getting some calls in the chat from a few people. The ammo in this seed so far has extremely been nice. You know, John's already at 35 missiles and 55 supers. You know, obviously you probably want another power bomb, but you know that's kind of the nature of full. If the ammo isn't being super stingy, you can get a lot of supers early, especially with in a vanilla map scenario where you're gonna go to green burn early where everything is.
Yeah, ammo's been heavy for him. Beams have not.
Just the wave and the grapple, which I think there's a certain GBA Metroid community that calls wave the best beam, and then there's a lot of grapple fans in the SM community. I was correct, by the way, about this Ridley over here in Kraid's Lair. AceZer, I don't think he came in here with full supers, but it would make sense if he did. I know he supered a door that's not green anymore, and for the Kraid health refill. But with the mini Kraid being right there for the farm, I would assume he was at least 30. He looks like he's setting up for a grab and did not get tail whipped at the end. Yeah, that was
very nice.
A quick and well executed low health Ridley fight, and that is it's our first boss down sub 20 for AceZer. Obviously, John had the first boss kill. Ace is here in this Fantoon, and yeah, the decisions that are about to come up are pretty pivotal. We saw John reset Wreckship E-Tank, so
Leno getting the speed now. So Cutie's coaches have that info, and we'll see when John decides to go back there and grab it. But looks like he wants to maybe full clear the ship, or at least do a few more checks, if not full clear it.
Yeah, I think it probably makes a lot of sense at the very least to pretty hard rush, the information about Wreckship Reserve, given the speed booster knowledge that you have, and on your way you're gonna get this other stuff, at the bottom, and then this very annoying robot room missile. And yeah, it's so depending on what you think about the race scenario, the logic leading you places, etc. It looks like to me that Cutie's coaches are both going to be in Wreckship. If John does happen to find something, Leno will be right on his footsteps. Meanwhile, AceZer and Ace are in different parts of the map. So yeah, that's as divergent as this race has been so far, it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon.
And John just finding the vanilla missiles behind those robots. Decided he wanted the ammo though. For taking the time, I guess might as well grab it.
Yeah, it's so close to
I didn't see
that ammo gun mode. No, this first. I think in a hull run scenario, it makes sense to do this first because it costs less health, and then in a non-hull run scenario as well. He decides that he wants to see the full room and fall all the way down. But yeah, in the non-hull run scenario, it kind of doesn't matter, but you want to do Iceless Escape going out, so maybe that's why you do this first. That's my guess. And Ace delaying the Wreckship E-Tank at the very least, and going straight for Attic. And yeah, here's some more
speed back on.
Yeah, here's some more issues with not getting that speed before Wreckship. You can see John over here riding some trippers. There's an item up there in the sky, and you could spark to it. You can infinite bomb jump to it. You could space jump to it, which we just found at Ice, or you could have none of those items. And you can do some Deer Force intended strats to find a super missile. So yeah, already 40-60 on John's side. We like to call it the minimum air quotes item ammo that you want. It does require you to refill some missiles after shooting some doors open, so you probably don't want to stop there, especially this early. But 40-60 will get it done in a not terrible way as far as Mother Brains 1 and 2 if you don't get charge beam. And yeah, we're looking for some stuff still. We haven't found anything so far in Wreckship. I don't know if John checked Wreck Ship Reserve, but Ace is about to do it for free right now, so
Not
we're gonna
much
see
for
if there's
Meridian.
oh man, just a power bomb. So if there's anything here, it's bowling, and yeah, very probable that Lenofist gets to kill this Fantoon and then just leave. But that's still, like I was talking about, that's map inefficiency as a team overall, because yeah, AceZer's the only one here in Norfair checking this stuff out.
That's
Space
screw
space
attack and
jump,
croc escape.
yeah, space jump so far, and then a screw attack down there at the Croc escape, and yeah, when Ace gets down to Norfair, he's gonna be able to do, you know, the things that he's gonna say, hey, go to Ice, get space jump. He's not taking the speedway because he doesn't want to leave Cathedral Missile forever, and then, you know, he's gonna be, you know, moving through Norfair and getting what he needs, while John and Nenofist are gonna have to split up the checks that they do. And then, like I said, we didn't get anything here in bowling, so a bust of a wreck ship, and that to me is gonna point to an advantage over here on the left for the A team.
And smart check by AceZer with his wave beam. Checking Cathedral, just being a reserve tank. Noping out of there.
Yeah, this was the other discrepancy. AceZer was the one that was low on E tanks. Everyone else had 5 or 6, and that was very well timed as far as his current energy as well.
And I didn't see what we had at Gravity before, so good to find out here from Ace. Okay, just a missile. AceZer's looking pretty healthy now, finding 2 E-tanks over Bubble Mountain. Just missile, so wreck ship is pretty nothing.
Yeah, so the one thing here that is gonna potentially be helpful on the Cuties coaches side, so they haven't done Waterway. Obviously, AceZer did that for A team. We saw was nothing. They can split up both Waterway and Chef Supers. Obviously, there's not going to be a gravity suit, which is the big thing we're looking for at Shaft Supers, but it could be, you know, there are fringe cases where that could be required, and that's the one thing that could give them an advantage in this route, both of them being up here at the top of the planet right now. Other than that, yeah, Ace still has to clean up this final check at the E-Tank, and then whatever we need is down here in Norfair somewhere.
Yeah, Norfair has been huge. As far as Meridia goes, though, we only have really one item that's helpful for it. So I don't think they can do anything down there with just Grapple Beam, can they? I'm not a big suitless Meridia person, so I don't really know. But I think you want high jump boots and Ice Beam. And
yeah, they do have that Spring
Go
Ball, so
along
high
with-
jump will get them a lot. But yeah, nothing right now with just Grapple and Spring Ball by themselves. Neither of them are doing anything for you. And yeah, right now, if we don't get high jump, we're getting gravity, and it's either over here or it's a Croc. And you know, right now, I'm sure everyone in chat is hoping for our favorite six-eyed friend. Yeah, this
wave is
oh
high jump. So now high jump, spring ball, and grapple. Now you can do a lot of stuff in Meridia if you have to. But
Yeah.
I think the Croc play would probably be faster than going suitless if there is something down there.
Yeah, so high jump is definitely the one that well, both high jump and gravity unlocks basically the rest of the map. Obviously, high jump doesn't get you quite the full Meridia stuff, but yeah, given where they are, you know, as a team, I think AceZer either going lower Norfair right now, or he's going Croc while Ace cleans up Upper Norfair, and then they can decide whether they either want to, you know, both go lower Norfair or split off Meridia. I think, yeah, lower Norfair is definitely the play that's calling out, and Ace is gonna be.
He's out of power bombs just to change his route.
Yeah, Ace is gonna be the last of the three runners not named AceZer into Norfair, but he's gonna be the first one to get all the good stuff. I'm also slightly interested in the fact that we saw Screw Attack from AceZer. It's at Croc Escape, and he didn't get it. and he's going to Lower Norfair with, just Varia, a good amount of hope, but not a ton, and nothing else to really make it the safest play. Obviously, high jump and speed, you got the comfortable movement you're used to, but
I definitely
that
want
auto
that.
check.
I definitely want that screw attack for sure. But as their season 2 champ, I guess it doesn't need it. He's really, really good.
Yeah, there was the call to chat. Ace had some issues with his power bombs, and those crabs are supposed to be helpful, but I guess they didn't. He elected to just ship refill. That's fine because you definitely don't want to. You want to get one, use it, and then you're farming a bunch. But it is a little bit more out of the way. And yeah, full item rando. We got that space jump. AceZer says, give me GT, despite the fact that it's going to drain every super missile that I own. But it's not really down here, so that's much less of an impact. But yeah, we do have the information over here on the right side that it's Ridley. I'm expecting both of them to clean up that boss right now. It's you got Vario, they both have 1 million supers, and this GT was nothing, but yeah, like I said, AceZer's just gonna plow all these supers into this blue golden Chorizo. I guess I should have just said blue Chorizo. and see what the rest of Lower Norfair has for us. And yeah, and Ace can do this or he cannot. It kind of doesn't matter because, well, number one, you're getting high jump down here, and it'll make it a better fight when you do it. And two, he knows, unlike the other two, that the item behind Ridley isn't something that's gonna matter.
Just the spacer screw attack.
Yeah. I would say obviously you'd rather have plasma over spacer pretty much every time that you're not doing Sulis and are worried about killing the enemies that you want to freeze. But given the charge beam is almost irrelevant at this point, the width of your beam is definitely helpful. It's more comfortable in general to have that wider beam than just the single wave particle. And yeah, space jump up here at Ice Beam, and some dueling Ridleys on the other sides. This is the any percent movement, so as they're whipping out that new route strat, he misses the wall jump and says, now I'm doing the old route strat of just using space jump. And it's unfortunate thing about where we are in this race right now. The only person that's going to be giving us any new information is AceZer. So we're going to be focused there a little bit. John and Lenifus, they're moving pretty well. They both got a clean Ridley fight. Lenifus a little bit low energy, but given you're in Kraid's lair and you're about to go to Norfair with the Varia, your health isn't the most concerning thing. And I mean, there's some very well-placed E-tanks that'll remedy that if he doesn't do much farming.
So I wonder at this point if AceZer wants to check Fire Fleas or just head straight for the boss and go, because ammo is, he's low, but if he wants to refill later on, he's pretty close to being just fine for Torian.
In a situation where you have basically one item as a team that you even care about, and that's gravity, I like doing the item checks early, because if AceZer finds gravity right here, he can just be like, hey, all we need is, they both need like 1 or 2 more supers and that's it. And you can stop, you can cut a lot of the fat around the edges as far as, a bit slower checks. And yeah. Interested to see if Ace both grabs that screw attack and also cleans up this croc now. I think that would be the smart thing to do, given, you have to come through this Lower Norfair, and as it stands right now, you're just beelining the boss, which is either Kraid or Dragon. And one big thing in co-op, you want as much information as you can get as early as possible as a team. So that splits off pretty well. And it makes the screw attack check or pickup not as out of the way. And yeah, I didn't quite see exactly where Cutie's coaches were at the time, but yeah, we found the space jump and Leno is already right there. So again, they're kind of stepping on each other's toes just a little bit. It's working out because you want the space jump here, but Yeah, once they get into Bubble Mountain, I'm assuming they'll take a top and a bottom route here for that, and then honestly, even maybe one of them does Croc early and sees what's up there. That the wireframe space jump animation I actually really like over there on Linifus' side. The people that the artists that make these sprites, shout outs to them. There's a lot of them that are extremely well done, you know, whether it's the palette shuffles or, you know, the suits themselves, and making those work in this game, it looks great. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of fun palettes to use. I really like all the stuff you can do in Varia. I haven't even done a quarter of it yet, but it's awesome fun. Gives it a lot of replayability.
So yeah, Kraid and Ridley, they switched places. So we had two vanilla bosses, Phantom, which we saw in Dragon, which is, you know, she's up there chilling in Meridia. And no Croc. That is, it's interesting as far as you know, I think, you know, AceZer's probably ahead on their team, you know, routing wise, because of, you know, the long rec ship check that didn't bear any fruit. So on that front, it makes sense to not have Ace also do the thing that could be worthless. Just gonna delay that knowledge for them by, you know, maybe a minute or two, but probably not overall the worst thing, because yeah, AceZer's gonna get that info, and Ace is gonna have a very, very fast Lorn Warfare here, and he did pick up that screw attack.
You know, that worst room will be a breeze.
No worst room issues, no key hunter problems. I'm assuming he's not gonna bother with that spacer pickup. And yeah, this is gonna be come down here, go kill Kraid. If there's something on the escape, AceZer will know by then. And yeah, to me it seems like even if we find a gravity at Crocomire, the A team's just pretty far ahead map wise. So I don't know how quickly they could get the information on the right side about that gravity and have that be impactful. Obviously, AceZer has to kill Phantom, which everyone else has, but that's going to be as quick and in and out of wreck ship as Ace is down here in Lorn Warfare.
Yeah, the other three did the checks in the ship, but AceZer won't have to. That'll be that'll be very quick. And then Dragon, we're just looking for the gravity suit now. So I wonder if AceZer might go visit Crocomire on the way out. Probably, right? That makes sense to me.
Yeah, you know, gambling suitless, especially when you don't even have Ice Beam, it's slow and it's risky. If it was one or the other, maybe you'd try it, but it's both, so I don't know. I really like that AceZer did a little mock ball into spring ball in that in the Firefly room. It's always nice to see people improvise their spring ball strats here in rooms where you don't necessarily have them in a lot of categories. And yeah, without charge or screw, there was no easier way to, you know, just kind of phase through the fireballs.
That's why I like seeing people like AceZer play. You know, with all the knowledge they have, what they kind of improvise movement, and ooh, there's Ice Beam, and what they can do with it just in a pinch. It's really neat. So now Ace has that info, and A team is looking really good now.
Yeah, I saw John at that wave, that farm close to Crocomire. He did not end up going to Croc, and yeah, it looks like Lino is going the remembered highway without gravity. And yeah, again, they're in the same place, they're going the same direction, and I would have really liked to have that Crocomire info. With that Ice Beam, I was talking about how, you know, the riskiness of doing, you know, Russian suitless Meridia without Ice Beam when it could be all the way about to him. Now they have that, but I still think we're gonna clean up Croc here. But yeah, it could have been a lot faster on the right side to have that info. I'm wrong again. Everyone hates Croc.
I thought the motto was always bet on Croc.
There are definitely some people who are part of that ilk who very much believe in believe in our six-eyed friend. Yeah, I do see a call out in Tracy. She says just go mode this. It's very much possible. Yeah, with that ice beam, it does replace gravity as a go mode. Not looking for gravity can definitely be what was I saying? Not looking for gravity can be, it can save a lot of time because, with it being Crocomar and, several, out of the way Suitless Meridia locations, not doing that good, especially if, you pick wrong the first time. But, oh goodness, what if it's just here? It's not.
But if it is at like Croc E-Tank, then, and Leno or John checks it on the way out, that could close the gap huge. But I don't think any of them want to go that way. They've all purposely skipped Croc twice so far. So they'll probably do it a third time.
Yeah, and it's weird. I keep pointing out this trend on the right side of just kind of being right in the same place. It's almost unfortunate that they haven't really had anything that's kind of allowed them to get some separation from each other, because, even once you split stuff up in Bubble Mountain, like, you're both right in the same place, and then you end up in the right place. There was only one thing. There was nothing in Bubble Mountain that you needed. They both just had the potential to get that screw attack, which it looks like neither of them did. If I trust our amazing trackers, which I do. And yeah, we're just kind of here. They even both went towards this screw attack location, and John just reset it. It looks like Lenifus didn't, which makes me believe he probably has that spazer. But yeah, we're either gonna see gravity along the way at Batu and E-Tank exactly, or it's gonna be Q's coaches who show it to us. Haven't mentioned it yet, but we're seeing pretty much a standard RBO what's that, Main Street climb. You don't have charge beam, so you gotta do a little bit different shot management, but yeah. AceZer doing a beautiful job here in Suitless Meridia. It's
he's flying, yeah.
The music is a bit calming. It's not necessarily that nerve-wracking, but you can miss a strat and lose a significant amount of time if you're slow on a freeze. You miss a spring ball jump, and that's 4 pauses instead of 2. So definitely a place you wanna execute well.
And since we're not gonna see anything new for about a minute, just want to take the time to shout out our runners and our trackers. Please give them a follow if you're not following them. Lots of fun content. If you love Metroid, plenty more Metroid. Go give these great people a follow. And definitely D-Web as well. Don't want to forget comms.
Not a streamer myself, but I do appreciate that. These teams will face off again tomorrow, I believe. I know Metroid MST is substituting. I don't remember if it's for John or Lenifus. It will be the same on the A-team side, but yeah. Lots of Rando League action. This is basically the halfway point of our season. Like I said, A-team doing really well. Q's coaches definitely got a chance to fight for the playoffs. They're in the Norfair division. And yeah, we're going to have a lot of stuff coming at you if you are a fan of the Super Metroid Randomizer, as obviously lots of us in here are. Ammo count looks like that was 65 super missiles for Ace, so he's going to be done as well. AceZer with 3570, that's plenty as well. Will we see the free gravity, or are we just going to finish this one suitless?
It's X-ray.
That's one of those items that if you skip it, it's going to be slower and you really didn't want to get it. But here you are, you got X-Ray. And yeah. I think
both John and Leno going through the same rooms together. It's unfortunate when that happens in co-op, but it's just Kraid down here, so they'll be out pretty quick. And we will see if Croc is remembered or forgotten. But AceZer is making Suitless Meridia look like just easy work. Really beautiful movement.
Yeah, we've got some farming over here from Leno. I'm a little bit curious about that, given, have a lot of health, he had plenty of ammo, and no Ridley, which was known. John got in there and saw Kraid a bit earlier, but Yeah, three. We're gonna have four bosses on the screen if AceZer gets in there before this crate is down, which he's not. But we were close. It was a thought that counted. We're definitely gonna see three. Um,
Yeah, I'm sure if John would have known, he would have missed the quick kill. Just so we could see 4 bosses together.
we're gonna have to find like 7 seconds for AceZer to have saved somewhere earlier in this run and give him crap about it for denying our beauty. But yeah, double crate down on the right side, Ridley down for Ace, and a Sueless Dragon about to start here for AceZer. We're gonna see a grapple kill, which with the way that the Variously works in this randomizer, you take almost no damage. Yeah, ooh. That one goop got away from AceZer and went too low for him, and he had to hurry up and get grabbed because the later groups will not trigger Dragon to grab you. So yeah, extra phase here, a little bit unfortunate, but he's very far ahead of Ace in their team dynamic, and as we can see, they're both ahead of both runners on Cutie's coaches. So unlikely that that's going to be a determining factor. But yeah, here's Dragon down. With that, all runners will have 3 bosses dead. AceZer's gonna be the lone one without Fantoon. Everyone else still needs to kill Dragon.
Ace is a lot closer to Meridia than John or Leno is.
Yeah, and AceZer almost got that grapple jump from the top portion of this turret, which a lot of people don't like to go for. And then I believe what messed him up was he was just too close to this ledge. So yeah, Ace does not kegel the door, doesn't get the fast entry into Main Street. But yeah, here comes Sueless Meridia Part 2. It remains to be seen if we get parts 3 and 4, or if someone wants to check out Croc on Cutie's coach side, or maybe even both of them do.
Yeah, they've been enjoying the same scenery together, so maybe they both go to Croc. I had a practice run with a buddy the other day, and we did the same thing as Cutie's coaches, although they're doing a lot faster than we did. But
Ace electing to mostly use spring ball strats without charge and without spacer on his side. I think that probably is the smarter thing. You gotta fire several more shots than you would in RBO situation, and those are the strats, you know. Especially this guy up here, he moves pretty fast. Ace, of course, that's the one enemy Ace does freeze, so thank you. But yeah, AceZer decides not to take the Forgotten Highway route out. I am not an expert on whether or not this is faster or not. Because you're not going to plasma, maybe that does the difference. Obviously, in RBO, you do get plasma and you go out that way. Yeah, let's see. We are back in the Upper North area on Cutie's coach's side. You know, just for my own knowledge and for, you know, not waiting until the credits to find gravity, I'd like to see a Croc check, but you know, they're not doing this for me. They're trying to win a race, and yeah, definitely some people definitely view this as faster to just kind of leave Croc alone and go suitless. So yeah, Lenifist says bye. I'm assuming we're gonna get 4 out of 4 on the Croc skip. Ooh, is AceZer gonna? Oh, I was gonna wonder if he was gonna use that snail to wall jump, and then the game reminded me that power bombs kill snails.
yeah, I thought
Yeah.
John for a second might go to Croc, but he just went down to refill at the bugs a little bit. Nice job by AceZer.
Yeah. One more bit of room stuff, you know, couple more suitless rooms, not going up nearly as much as you were previously, so these are going to be quick, and AceZer's going to be home free out of the suitless Meridia, while Ace is already a Batoon. And yeah,
Cutie's coaches from Leno, morphing as he went through the door, and then he's going to do the spring ball jump. Oh, just missed it. That was very cool and a very good try, though. It's a strat I haven't seen done before. Getting through the door on the first jump out of the pipe, but then going for a spring ball jump. It almost worked.
Yeah, John unfortunately shot one too many missiles at that fish and killed it before freezing it. So yeah, spring ball jumps for them for this first part of Main Street climb.
And as they're the only one who hasn't gone to wreck ship yet, gonna go over, take care of Fantoon. Has a giant lead though, so even if we get a slow Fanny, it won't matter.
Yeah, AceZer's gonna be leading the pack for this one. Our good friend and commentary Kev Nassix, he loves some Susulus Meridia. The race he calmed earlier that I was tracking, it had a gravity in Meridia, so we saw some suitless there, and then here we are with 4 completely suitless players. It doesn't look like we're gonna find gravity unless someone shocks me. Yeah, unless they go exactly to Watering Hole right here. We're gonna see it in the credits and say hi gravity, we didn't need you today. Ooh, just a little bit early on that grapple release, but John gets a nice backup off of that enemy, and we're back around the top of Everest.
And when we look at the credits, I really want to see gravity at Croc.
I did see a save come through for Lenofis. Just a bit of a safety, I'm assuming, but yeah, not a whole lot to worry about here. You've got a ton of health, you got Varia, Ice, Grapple, Spring Ball. As long as you don't get stuck in that sand in Coliseum, you'll be alright. And then we're going to see a Machtroid clip, and we're going to see... oh, just missed a quick grapple. Yeah, AceZer barely nudges out Ace for the first player to kill all 4 Golden 4 bosses on stream. That grapple would have made it practically tied. Would have been pretty cool.
Oh, you got the nice backup on the right side, though.
Ooh, John just barely doesn't hit that ledge. This grapple jump, a lot of people call it a pretty awkward grapple jump, but it's one you see often because... for whatever reason, a lot of people don't do the snail climb. It's very easy, especially if you have Spring Ball. But I'm assuming grapple's probably a bit faster, and it's just what everyone knows. So yeah, we're going to see a ship refill to get all of our ammo back on AceZer side, and then we're into some gravityless Metroid rooms. It mostly affects the first room. Otherwise, you're mostly the same. But yeah, pretty comfy loadout for our end game here.
How many missiles does AceZer have? Only 25, or is it 35?
I want to say it's 35.
Okay, because I don't know. I didn't think 25 and 70 would have been enough. Okay, 35, 70. Thanks, Tracy. It's not coming through that well on my screen for some reason.
Yeah, 2570 would be enough by a little bit, but
Just
yeah, we are. Well, yeah, and AceZer doesn't have these super missiles. That's funny. So he's even got an extra one for fun. Yeah, he went right at the ship at the start, and then he went through Gauntlet and decided, Terminator, it'll be there when I need it to be. And John proving me wrong about this X-ray, and he's skipping it because he doesn't want it. And yeah, like I said, doing some wall jumps followed by a spring ball jump. I'm not sure
if that saves the fanfare. Yeah, you're right.
But it's gonna save you some peace of mind as far as your item select versus item cancel. So yeah, no running through the acid here in room 1. After that, your stretch should mostly be the same. Not quite gonna do full hundo stress because you want these drops AceZer probably doesn't need him given his plethora of supers over here, but yeah, we're seeing some grapple jumps over here in Coliseum from Lino. John is scaling his way up. A room that I'm sure has a name. I'm going to call it the full Happy Charge room because I don't know what that name is.
Well, we have Tracy here watching. What's the name of that room?
Yeah. Ace headed out on Meridia. John and Lenifis heading into Dragon. AceZer heading into Baby Skip. Let's see if he can
The room before Coliseum.
see if he can get a successful one.
Where you do your charge. Yes, I'm using Salty as... I'm Salty. I'm using Tracy as my memory. I have told you all about pigeons and their memory, so... And I have D-Web and Tracy here, so... Like, why not?
So yeah, a few extra jumps from AceZer, but we do get a Baby Skip. That's 1 out of 1. We're hoping 1 out of 4. We're hoping for 4 out of 4 from these very skilled runners. And John is damaging down like he's gonna Crystal Flash escape from this place, which would be hilarious, but not necessary. There's that comfy ice Zeb skip. I'm sure AceZer's gonna tell me when he joins the interview that he didn't pick up Screw Attack 30 minutes ago because he didn't want to turn it off then.
Oh no,
Yeah.
John.
He did save,
Okay, that's good.
but yeah, that's not what you want to see. One more refill for Ace at this Kirby ship. Everybody gets to see our favorite flexing pink puffball. And yeah, I have questions about these damaging down strats from John. Like I said, ooh, that was a very large amount of damage on that damage drop from AceZer, but you know, perfectly calculated and a full reserve. I think probably not in as much danger as it could have looked like. Yeah, only six energy tanks as well as no charge. I mean, no need or ability to do the stand-up glitch. Lenifis working on this grapple escape. I'm gonna bounce, jump, morph, unmorph. Spring ball makes it so you can't mash jump. Yeah. I'm thinking as soon as I stop talking, he's gonna get it. That one is unfortunately too close to the ledge, but yeah. Purple Metroid, purple Mother Brain 3. AceZer was purple when he landed on the ship, and he never got gravity to not return to purple.
AceZer wanted to share the purple.
It's a nice color.
It is. Royal purple. It's my favorite. It's the Happy Climb room. Okay, I was thinking like the Coliseum tunnel or Coliseum entrance, but I didn't actually know. Thank you, Cerberus.
I would like to know what it was called before the Happy strategy was invented, if such a time exists.
That's a great question. Yeah, if they even named rooms back then.
Yeah, we're gonna have to go deep into the archives. We're gonna have to ask some of these OGs who were around in the early years of Super Metroid speedrunning. Ace had some unfortunate Metroid grabs. Without bombs, you're not getting those Metroids off you without killing them with power bombs. So he got slowed down, but yeah, as we can see on the screen, his team is quite a bit ahead of Cutie's coaches. And yeah, this is getting dicey now. Lenifis is either gonna have to do it there on this try, or he's gonna have to Crystal Flash. Their teammate MST in chat is he's gonna hit us with a practice copy pasta pretty soon, if I had to guess. No baby skip, unfortunately for AceZer0. 1 out of 2 so far. We will see if Cutie's coaches decide to finish to see. We may be able to get another couple of attempts at that, but in the meantime, we're gonna get a quick escape. AceZer is gonna come in here sub-hour. And Ace will be shortly behind him. Yeah, John died to Dragon and still did the fight and got out before Linofist, so yeah, a bit of trouble. We did see that Crystal Flash I was talking about. If he is not comfortable with not mashing jump, I don't know if his spring ball is on or not. I haven't been paying close enough attention, but yeah, he's got to get out of here, one way or another.
Are you supposed to hit the jump as soon as you bonk off that corner?
Yeah, that's what they're saying in chat. My knowledge of this trick is that it is a grapple jump, so you do need to press the jump button. It's not just bounce and then do it, but that's where my knowledge ends.
Okay, fair enough. And GG's to AceZer.
Yeah, our first finisher here.
59:07. Race time, GG.
We're gonna see Mother Brain fight number 2 from AceZer0. And this is the trick. This is the time, Linofist. He's just not getting that initial jump, and when he does it, he only gets one mid-air jump before he's back on the ground. Super missiles. And lots of them. That's what Ace is doing here to Mother Brain.
Mother Brain.
This is
far just meatballs.
Yeah, with all this health, you're not too scared, but you're never gonna complain about a good pattern. Last few seconds, where do we think Gravity Suit is? I'm gonna say cosine for fun.
I'm gonna say Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen it here before, so
he barely got that too far damage down, but we're safe now, and 6 energy's plenty. This was a fast progression speed. That to me says that's almost definitely a croc. But I've been wrong plenty of times before about that. Trying to base things off of that progression speed, but we're just a moment or two away from finding that Gravity Suit location.
Yeah, my eyes are still glued on AceZer's screen because I want to know.
And yeah, Linofist, good trouble. He's not gonna get out with that grapple jump. Does look like we have the Dragon save over there as well. So just gotta redo the fight, and then what's gonna happen is what always happens. You mess it up a bunch of times, and then you come back in there. He's just gonna get it first try. But yeah, fortunately for them, that was not what decided this race. There, here we go. Where do we find our Gravity Suit? Oh, I see ice.
Suit and grapple beam. It was croc.
Yeah, I was 2 items away. You were 1 item away. We'll give you the win on that one.
By proximity, thank you. I'll take it.
What was that? Bombs were at Super Missile Yellow Meridian. I think that's Watering Hole. Yeah, I think that's Watering Hole.
Well, some of the best coaches in history were not the best players.
And some of the best players tried to coach and it didn't work.
And they just weren't right for it. But that being said, I'm not taking shots at John or Linofist. They both played well. They just played kind of 2 in sync, and they didn't get the map info for each other that you would have wanted.
I want to say Linofist just tried to do the Crystal Flash escape over here. Yeah, he's really not confident in that grapple jump and reset that. Unfortunately, whatever he did in that Crystal Flash, it caused Dragon to fly away instead of to attach. So yeah, We're coming back for round 3, but Dragon will be slain by Lenifis. I have no doubt about it. He's getting into this climb. Did not have the echoes already, and yeah, with no gravity, you're not charging that spark in the acid. So a bit unfortunate on that. We're getting a high jump right side wall climb, something you almost never see ever. You can charge it without grav. I'm being informed by Duck. I was not aware of that.
I just don't know how to do it. So, okay, that's fair.
So AceZer0 finishes. Official race time 1 hour 4 minutes 7 seconds. That is a victory for the A team. I'm not gonna do math live on stream and tell you the average. I'm just gonna tell you that it's close to a 102. Or wait.
Well, it's 5 minutes and a second apart.
Yeah, so add 230 to AceZer's time, or take 230 off of Ace's, which I guess is a 101 then something, right? I don't know. Like I said, math on stream, not advised. And there are our winning racers, AceZer and AceZer0. They're in the commentary booth with us. Good game to both of you.
Hey, thanks.
Thanks.
Man, both of you flew through Suitless Meridia. That was sweet to watch.
Yeah, the first question I had, obviously we saw at the beginning you had that early divergence that unfortunately didn't work out with the wreck ship, but generally it looked like your plan was to try and split things up as much as possible. Obviously, the wreck ship and then that speed booster kind of throws a wrench in things, so tell us what you thought about it.
We're gonna have me do wreck ship first, and actually may have been sort of lucky-ish that I failed CW, because well, no, but like I meant to do it early on. I got walled at CWJ, and then decided to give up on it. But when we found out we could get speed booster, and Ace ended up being in a better position to do wreck ship than I was, we switched on that, and then he full cleared it. And it was like we were checking really dense wreck ship versus really dense upper Norfolk at the same time, and I felt okay about that. And it was kind of unfortunate wreck ship had nothing, yeah, but like if I had gotten CWJ early, then I would have just been doing the whole thing without speed, and it would have sucked a little bit more to not find anything.
Yeah, it was interesting. I think John was maybe the first person we saw in the wreck ship to find that vanilla Fantoon. Lenifis also was right there with you, AceZer, unfortunately not getting the CWJ. Biggest differences for this one, both you and Ace got speed earlier than the other team. You had that waterway clear out of there earlier, and then yeah, they were kind of in the same area Cutie's coaches were for a lot of the race. You two were obviously in very different areas. The only other question I really had was about the Croc decision, both before and after Lower Norfair. I think after Lower Norfair, with you having ice, it's a bit easier, but I was thinking with Ace being behind that AceZer, you might have thought about doing Croc before Lower Norfair, but what'd you think?
I was kind of like, I think it's a little bit debatable still, but I'm just like, if it's average time and someone does Croc and gravity's not there, then we just lost all that time. We've already full cleared wreck ship. Actually, full clearing wreck ship might have been a better reason to do it, because it narrowed the amount of places gravity could be. I was a little bit worried that maybe they had decided to do Croc before Lower Norfair or something, and gravity was like at E-Tank, and they could have passed us up by both having it. But just like in general, if I don't know for sure that gravity is going to be in one location or Suitless Meridia or whatever, like if I'd prefer not to waste time on it at all and just try and blow by everything.
Yeah, and before the ice beam came, like I mentioned, like, should I go to Croc before LN? But since it's average finish time, like as you pointed out, like it doesn't really help anything if I go there before LN, since either way we both have to go through LN. Like, he can check the items on the way out basically for free, so like there's no difference at that point. And then Ice showed up, and then it became not important at all.
I think when we were like, I think there might have been an argument for me checking it on the way out, while you were still in LN, and if not, then we just sync up in Meridia, and it's not too big of a deal. And if Gravity is there, which it was, then we both get to save that time. That might have overall still been faster, but I was really worried about it not being in there and Gravity just being at bot 2 and losing a ton of time on that. So I also don't think I executed particularly well, just because I had been busy past couple days, and I was like really trying to be extra safe and cautious and not make a mental mistake in co-op. Like, that's mostly what I'm afraid of, for like taking a bad death and use that to like screws over the team. And, like, I'm a lot more comfortable playing solo.
Yeah, it's so much harder to execute, like to do everything right when you're trying to also think about where your partner is and like what they have and what, like, how that fits into your routing. Like, not only like doing the right inputs, but for me, it also sometimes is hard to like remember like what go mode is even sometimes.
Oh,
like,
yeah, like you didn't realize that Ice Beam meant we were in go mode.
You said Ice, and I was like, oh,
like
that's go mode.
And I assumed you did realize.
No, I totally didn't. So I was like, oh, are you doing Croc now or no? And you were like, no, we have Ice Beam. And I was like, oh yeah, let's go mode.
Like, luckily we were in a place where you were not checking extra things anyways.
Yeah, I tend to at least ask a lot of the questions when I'm just like not thinking, so my brain just isn't there. It's like, does this make sense? What am I doing again? Like, where's that item you already told me where it was twice? I forget where I'm going.
Also interesting about the seed was the really heavy super distribution, which was like, okay, we're probably just going to find enough supers on the way. We don't really have to worry about it. And there were some missiles that, even though I didn't have enough ammo yet, I still felt okay skipping them when I might not have been a different seed.
Yeah, we didn't. I don't know if either of you checked where charge was on the credits, but yeah, we didn't see it on either side, and it was definitely not.
Charge beam was up a watering hole, and plasma was sandpit.
Okay.
So not really quick or happy checks to do, especially when you're suitless. So definitely understandable not going over there. But your suitless Meridias were really nice, I thought.
Thanks.
It was really cool to watch from both of you.
I made a lot of mistakes that are like much easier to notice if you're like an advanced player, I'd say. I felt I could have done it a lot better, but mostly I didn't want to soft lock or die or screw up, so I was okay with not like taking my time a little bit.
Yeah, that was kind of my thought too. Like, I took a little extra time on Main Street just to like clear out the crowds, make sure I had plenty of health. Like, don't fall down the room all the way, even if it takes a few more seconds to set up the jumps. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, like I think that there's a lot of players in this in the league that we would have this suitless Meridia would have been slower than them. So hopefully I can work on that a bit for later.
I'm just disappointed outside of the suitless Meridia that my Galaxy Brain spark out of Kraid's room didn't work out because I bonked the platform. That was like a spur of the moment idea. I was like, I could just spark across the Ridley farm room. It's gonna be perfect. And then I bonked into the pedestal and was sad.
It's a cool idea, and I was sad I didn't think of it. I see John finished, and I'm a little surprised that they're choosing to finish it out because I think like forfeits. Oh, they're probably not looking at the race room, but forfeits are kind of common when the losing player is doing Suitless Meridian, I think.
Yeah, it does look like eventually Leno is gonna forfeit. It hasn't come up yet on the stream, but
Uh-oh.
yeah, Leno had a lot of trouble with escaping Dragon, unfortunately, and yeah, like I said, they were in the same place for quite a bit of the seed. That was a lot of the time differences, as well as probably a little bit of a movement advantage on your side. But yeah, definitely thank you for your thoughts. I thought this was a pretty interesting thing. From what you guys were saying, I didn't think that the communication from what you all were doing looked good from our end. Ace won the percent battle by not picking up Spacer, so good job, Ace.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun, and GG's again to Leno and John, and thanks for comms and tracking and everything.
Yeah, let's do this again sometime.
Yeah, MST's been in chat, giving his teammates the business, so hopefully he'll have some good strategies for the race tomorrow. You all have against this team, part 2, and yeah, good luck to you the rest of the season. Salty, or if any of you have anything, we can say goodbye to them, and then we'll see if Cutie's coaches want to come in here, and we'll get them talking.
Okay. No, I think all the questions have been covered. Everything I was thinking about. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Suitless Meridia, and I was curious about the Croc decision, but that was all explained thoroughly and very well. So I think I'm good. Thank you both for an amazing race, and best of luck to you. And we'll see you next mission.
Trying to get a hold of John and Leno over here in the race time chat. If they're listening to restream or in chat right now, if you all want to come in, feel free. If not, just let us know, and we'll check out how this Mother Brain 2 fight goes for Leno Fists. And oh yeah,
Ooh.
I was like, well, that's what caused the forfeit. No reserves for Lenofist, and he did not damage down precisely enough. Yeah, without gravity, you're taking more damage than you're used to. So unfortunate death ends this race for us. But yeah, that's where the forfeit comes in for Leno.
Poor Leno.
So
I gotta say,
so far, heard nothing. Sorry, you go.
Without that, unfortunate time in Dragon's room, I think Leno and French Lightning John had really nice movement, and they played really well. And we got Leno with us. Hey, Leno, GG's.
GG's.
Sorry about your Dragon room. That's always brutal. That's a really tough climb to get.
I hadn't done grapple swing in a little while, and it obviously shows. I got the distance once, and then I dropped the jump, and I was really upset with myself with that.
Outside of that room, though, I thought your overall movement was really good, and it was fun to watch you play. You played well. I know it stinks to have a mother brain like that at the end, but it was a fun race.
I hit her kneecap one too many times. Just one too many times. Yeah, that's gonna happen from time to time. I guess we didn't really diverge on routes too much, which is true. We kind of double backed on each other a little too much.
But there were a lot of times where you guys were close to each other, and you found a major, and it's like, hey, this is over here. So it made sense at a lot of those points why you were still on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
That just happens.
Yeah, and John is doing Green Brand. He's like, Spring Ball's back here, and Grapple's back here, and Varia's back here. I'm like, oh crap.
So that kind of that just funnels you together.
Yeah, and so I tried CWJ across the mode a couple times. I got the frame twice, but I didn't get the second jump. I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to try this too many times. We'll see what's in Red Tower. I'll double back. I'll pick up the items in Green Bryn. What I probably should have done, as this was pointed out to me, is get that second pack of power bombs, get the speed boost right away at back of Gauntlet, because I knew it was back there, and then I guess do Green Bryn after the fact. Just do a full clear wreck ship. Nice wreck ship, by the way. Nothing in it except supers. So many supers this seed. Like, how many super packs were available? I didn't actually get a count.
I didn't count either, but it was a ton.
Yeah, I didn't either. Yeah, there was so many. I mean, I think Ace might have been the only one that didn't hit 70, and they were stacked early. You had so many supers, so it was fine.
They were everywhere.
I think, obviously we talked about a bit of the stepping on each other's toes. If Wreck Ship did have something big, honestly, you guys probably take the advantage, maybe a little bit, because you were both there at the same time. AceZer never touched anything in Wreck Ship that wasn't Fantoon, but yeah, the only other thing I asked the other team about this too. Obviously, no one went to Croc. That's where Grapple Beam had the gravity suit. What was your team's thought about that in the especially at the lower Norfair versus Croc decision point? That's my biggest question.
So once we left Lower Norfair, we just, he decided, like, okay, how good is your Suitless Meridia? I'm feeling pretty confident in mine. Let's just skip Croc, say the heck with it, and we'll go for it. And that was a good decision. My inability to escape Dragon, notwithstanding, but I once we found once he found high jump at Wave Beams, like, okay, yep, it's time to rush Lower Norfair. Let's get this done, and let's just go.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Suitless Meridias were done well by everybody. AceZer probably had the fastest one, but that last grapple that last grapple out of Dragon notwithstanding, I'm sure once Kevnastics gets a chance to watch this, he's gonna love this race, because it was a lot of good Meridia play.
It will probably drive him bonkers too with my inability. Like, I just gotta grind the grapple swing a little bit more, because I was pretty consistent with that for a little while, but you don't play SM for 4 months, and you don't do grapple swing for probably 6 months, and you're a little rusty. You gotta shore up on practice. I've been doing just about all my other movement. I just haven't gotten around to grapple swing yet. And then I see Ace picked up Screw Attack. Where was that at?
Croc Escape.
Oh yeah, that's right. John even pointed that out. Like, I knew it was there. There was no reason to pick it up at that point, because we were done with Lower Norfair.
Yeah, he picked it up, and he did it before Lower Norfair. He was the only one that did that. I was a bit surprised, especially especially when Ace went there. I was considering maybe he was the one doing Croc, although AceZer was ahead of on their team for once Wreck Ship was empty. But yeah, it wasn't needed. Obviously, he had good health and enough stuff to get through Lower Norfair, but
right.
Peace of mind, that's something I value a little bit. So yeah, it looks like for the race tomorrow, you, Lenifist, are bowing out in favor of Metroid MST. If you rewatch the race VOD, you might see some choice words from your teammate, but I'm sure he'll be very encouraging and positive and complimentary to you all as you try to, right the ship and get back on track in the win column.
He's just lucky I'm gonna be asleep tomorrow for him and John, so he'd better bring forth some retribution. And better knock off that undefeated team that he's got going on over there. But I knew this was going to be a good match. I knew it was going to be a tough match. Like, AceZer is really, really good. He has really good movement in vanilla SM. He plays SM hacks all the time. He's grinding out what is it?
Subversion.
That's the one. Thank you. So yeah, I would fully expect AceZer, if it comes down to shenanigans like this, to have an edge. So we'll just see what happens tomorrow. It's gonna be a good one.
Absolutely. We got a stacked slate of games all day tomorrow and Sunday. Tons of Metroid for the fans. And we get a rematch of this one. What's that? Early afternoon?
Yep.
So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Well, at least early afternoon if you live in the Eastern time zone. But yeah, I don't think I have
thanks
any
for
other
joining us, Lino.
Yep. Thanks for doing commentary and then tracking Incompetent Perfectionist. Speaking of tracking, I have actually got to bow out because I've got a tracking assignment I just picked up over on Speed Gaming 5. That's MasterCard Lotus Piece SC Baseball Guild versus the Spring Ballin' teams. That'll be a good one.
Yeah, we've
Sounds
got
good. Best of luck to you.
a match going on right now. It's Will Cut Breast versus Vile Plumes. They played race 1 at the same time as you all, and they're going. And then yeah, another race starting in a few minutes. Another race starting at 10 o'clock Eastern. Yeah, lots more SM Rando this weekend. If you're awake, and it's not like 5 a.m. in the US. There's probably a good chance there's going to be some rando on Speed Gaming for us. So if you're a fan of watching these matches, you're going to be in for a treat this weekend. I'm going to say, yeah, thanks for all of our runners. Linafis obviously joining us here on this interview, and also to French Lightning John, good game. Our trackers, they did an amazing job. Co-op, we like to have 2 trackers because it's a lot of work, and both of them did fantastic. Salty Pigeon, you've been holding down the commentary block for us a lot of times. It was good to get here in the booth with you. Had a lot of fun.
Oh, it was fun to do this with you too, and someone as knowledgeable as you. And when I was able to do it with Tracy last week, that was really cool because I could just lean on both of your performances, because both of you are pros at this. I think, in my opinion, you're both fun to listen to, and I got caught up as more of a viewer and just enjoying the time. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I felt like I've had a week off because we haven't had much early week races this week, but we got a ton over the weekend, and I signed up to do a few. Really looking forward to it, and my race is tomorrow as well. Yeah, I don't have anything left except thank you all, and thank you to IP and Paragon for doing the tracking. This is a lot of fun. I'm gonna go over and watch another race now.
Yeah, good luck. You got a bit of a giant over there. You got to slay in Southern Route. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody in here in the Restream team. Shout outs to Rick for getting us set up. And yeah, check out the other Speed Gaming. I'm sure the bot's been telling you how many other races are going on. Definitely head over. Either 3 it has a race right now, 5 has one coming up. There'll be another race here on 2 here in about half an hour. And yeah, we will see you next mission. Have a good night, everyone.
Take care, everybody.